Regal Movie Masters. Unlimited.
This is the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited podcast, where we indiscriminately watch every goddamn movie that comes out at the local theaters. Your movie masters today are Justine.
Hi.
Brent.
Hello.
Dylan.
What's up?
And I'm Colin. I'll let you guys know up front. We do have an email you can contact us at. It's going to be moviemasters760@gmail.com. And also the Instagram at Official Movie Masters. Dylan, what movie are we watching today? There's just one movie, right?
Oh, we only saw one movie.
Okay.
Weirdly, we only saw one.
Michael Jackson CD hits of one. They just played the CD at the movie theater, and it was just his number one.
It was just Metallica's one music video.
Oh, it's a really shitty movie. We got 4 movies on the docket today. I hope you're sitting down. You don't have to be. You could be going for a walk. It's actually probably good for you if you go for a walk. Anyways, you can listen to it on a walk if you want. The 4 movies are Godzilla Minus One, The Shift, Silent Night, and
Dream Scenario.
not necessarily in that order. Dylan, tell us what we're talking about first.
First movie, we got Godzilla Minus One. It's a new Toho picture. Here's a little snippet about it. Japan is already devastated by the war when a new crisis emerges in the form of a giant lizard monster. Stars Godzilla as Godzilla and directed by Takashi Yamazaki. He did a bunch of Japanese-friendly movies, and one I liked a lot.
I'm sorry, Japanese-friendly movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of Japanese.
Aren't all movies technically Japanese-friendly
Oh, no.
by default?
I don't know how do you
Barring
feel
a
about
couple
that
very
Oppenheimer,
important years.
Japan did not take that.
That's fair
well.
enough.
Anyway, he did a movie I liked called Parasite. Not the Korean Parasite.
Yeah.
Parasite with a Y off the anime Parasite, and I thought it was funny. Anyway, that's it.
Well, Brent is our local Godzilla master. I'm leaving the review to him. He made the Godzilla master must speak first.
This weekend was fun because a lot of times, especially with monster movies, people like to ascribe deeper meaning to it. Like, oh, the Japanese people, they went through this, so therefore this represents... No, I went and I wanted to see stuff get wrecked, and stuff got wrecked. And I don't know, there was a bit of hyperbole going into it. Some friends saw it before I did, and they're like, this is the greatest, this is the goated Godzilla. I was like, probably not, but I'll watch it. And it was just a fun time. And I liked our theater when we saw it because everybody was very respectful of the lizard.
Lizard was on screen. The people were reverent.
Yes.
It is the first 3 letters of his name.
Yeah.
Demand.
You understand, we were in church.
Yes. Is that the appeal of God? What's the appeal of Godzilla movies? He wrecks stuff. Is it just for wrecking stuff?
Yeah, because I mean that was my indoctrination. When I was a kid, I was like, look, it's a lizard. It's a guy in a lizard costume stomping on like miniatures. This is awesome. And every time they try to do it over here in the States, they try to like make a love story or have it be a human story. And it's just like, no, just have a monster, wreck stuff, and then there may or may not be a clean ending. Like sometimes it's clean, sometimes it's not.
Yes, I'm like I'm such a neophyte in the world of Godzilla, and I respect people who have like deep Godzilla knowledge.
Did you like this one?
No, I don't think I did. I liked Shin Godzilla. I was like kind of dragged to.
Yeah.
And like on God, fam.
On God.
That's probably one of the best movies this century.
Yeah.
Shin was like a fucked up like entry point into the franchise.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen an American version of it.
You don't need to.
I know they're like poo-pooed upon, but Shin was like just a whirlwind of like I don't know, intensity, like a human story, like how the human spirit in the face of bureaucracy addressing like a disaster. Like it was
a crisis. It's a movie about a crisis and people in crisis, and with no time to go, fall in love with somebody.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. That was just a dazzling, and like the look of it, the monster effects, everything about that one was like this high watermark. And I've seen some of the '60s movies.
Yeah.
What's the Monster Party one where they all fight each other? Destroy all. It's not Destroy All Monsters.
King of the Monsters? Which one?
Is
it King?
I don't know. I forgot which one it is. The one with the little boy where he just goes into
No,
like.
that's a different one.
What's that one?
I don't know. The one with the little boy.
What's the one with the little boy?
I don't know.
Where he dreams about Godzilla, about going to Godzilla
That's the
land?
best one.
That's a great one. Well, I don't know that it's the best one because I've seen like 3 or 4 of them.
No, it's the best one.
It's pretty good.
Because
It's
it has
pretty
the
great.
little ugly one.
Oh, Godzuki.
The cute little
Yeah,
ugly
sure.
one.
Anyone with Godzuki is great. And I've seen a couple of the 60s ones. They are like so cool. They're very cool. I'm pro Godzilla in theory. And I think this movie was not a lot of Godzilla.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, yeah, to your point, you know, like when my friends were saying, oh, this is the greatest Godzilla movie ever, I was like, it's probably not because Shin was perfect. And how are you going to replicate that? It's hard. So yeah, I can see why you didn't enjoy that one as much. I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as Shin, but I still got to see, you know, the monster light
Yeah.
up and blow stuff away.
the Godzilla effects are like awesome.
Yeah.
Like I don't want it to be like I fuck this movie, but it is everyone I know who likes Godzilla a lot, and even just random people on the internet who love to hate shit. No one loves to hate shit than random motherfuckers on the internet. They're like, this is great.
yeah.
Everyone I talk to who likes Godzilla a little bit is like, this is great. So I'm like, okay, it's a good Godzilla movie then, because I don't have a right to talk bad about Godzilla movies.
My take on this is very much like your take would be on like Blue Beetle or something. Like, hey, it's a comic book movie. I like comic book movies.
Right.
So this was a comic book movie. I liked it. So this is a Godzilla movie made in Japan. I like it.
I'm not opposed to that stance. I got my grievances are as follows. I don't think is there 10 minutes where Godzilla is on screen cumulatively?
No.
So there's a lot of not Godzilla in this 2-hour-ish movie, and I like the Godzilla parts a lot. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the movie storyline of the guy who's a kamikaze fighter and he didn't blow up in the war and he has not necessarily guilt, but he is experiencing shame and is being shamed for not defending his country properly.
Yeah.
And he encounters Godzilla before he's all giant, and he's like, didn't really defend him then, and he has shame for that too because he didn't fight Godzilla properly. He was supposed to die. He's just been meant to die all these times, and Japan is devastated. He's putting together his post-war life, and like, I just think it's not that artfully done.
No, they telegraphed every move. Like you knew that there was going to be an ejector seat like halfway through the movie.
And there's like a montage of the kid growing up. That's a very like Hallmark-ish kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that if you take Godzilla out of this that you have a proper like lament on the woes of World War II. I don't think it stands on its own. So you need the lizard. So then maybe you have some more lizard. Now here's my beef as a non obsessive, as a neophyte in the Godzilla world. I'm like, as a viewer, I think of the movies originally, they were like, okay, we got the Godzilla, we need to make more. And when they make more, they're like, throw some crazy monsters in there, send them to space, have some aliens get in the mix, have them have a kid. Like, let's get wacky with this shit.
Yes.
And I think they realize that because as a viewer, I'm watching this and they're just like, throw a bomb at him. And I'm like, that's not going to work. And then they throw a bomb at him and it doesn't work. And they're like, it didn't work. Throw a big bomb at him. They keep trying to blow him up. And now the viewer, I'm like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And so this is, again, post-Shin, not to keep bringing that up because you shouldn't, just because you make a really great movie doesn't mean every movie has to be as good. But that was a great example of like a standalone a reboot, a deboot. I don't forget what they call it.
A reassertion.
Sure, where it's just like, let's just tell the bare bones of the story. And then,
but even that had the wackiness because you remember like when you first saw the Godzilla creature on the screen, you're like, what am I watching? This is so goofy looking. And then it turns later
to different forms and states. Awesome. And again, I can't stress, like the Godzilla shit here looks awesome.
Yeah.
But having it be like the city of Tokyo is experiencing a Godzilla attack for the first time, but we all damn well know what the Godzilla does. So all of their initial ideas of how to beat Godzilla just feel tedious. Not to them. In the context of the story, it's great because that's what you would probably come up with. All of that seemed grounded. And actually, the parts of the movie where my ears perked up and I started like engaging is when the scientist was on screen and he was like, okay, here's how we're going to get this Godzilla. Here's our plan. Here's our stuff. I'm like, yes, schemes. Show me scientific schemes. Like, that stuff's cool. That's like grounded, hard sci-fi stuff. And that stuff worked for me. But again, that's not a big chunk of the movie. A big chunk of the movie is a guy just being like, war is a sad and his family or people around him also being sad. And it's a sad story for sure, but I don't know why you need to tell that story in the context of a Godzilla movie. And I don't really know what a Godzilla movie has to do with that in terms of an optimal story. It's not like why are they talking about World War II with a Godzilla movie? I don't get it. No, I get that.
Well, that's the thing is like the 50s Godzilla, the initial offering of Godzilla addresses that. You know what I mean? And like if you do want to make like a sociological statement, that was that.
For
then.
sure. And it was a lot more metaphor, I think, than
Of course.
spending like hours of screen time showing the devastated city and showing how sad everything is. It just didn't strike me as, I don't know, it just seemed like two things happening that don't necessarily have to do with each other. But that's just assessing the movie as a movie. And like, I don't know, I guess with some of the baggage of the Godzilla franchise, I can't stress enough, this is a movie for Godzilla fans that Godzilla fans like, and I feel like they're a beleaguered people, so I'm enthusiastic about their enjoyment of it. And I didn't dislike the movie. I just to say it's on par with a Shin is very silly. And
no, it's not.
And even the ending is very safe and saccharine and probably focus grouped and everything. It's I don't know. I don't see myself coming back to it. Put it that way.
I'll watch the action again, but I don't need the story again.
Yeah, the action, and again, and what the fuck? That's what you're there for, right?
Yeah.
You're there to see Godzilla. Just maybe put more Godzilla.
It's like like if you only like the song Wonderwall and you went to see an hour and a half of Oasis. It's like okay, I got Wonderwall, so I was willing to put up with the other hour and 25 minutes. You know?
Right. Justine, you saw it today.
I saw it today.
You're a sci-fi head.
I am, and all that I know about Godzilla movies is that they're boring. And
but you get to see some crazy crap.
No, you just see Godzilla on screen fighting. It's just two hand puppets fighting for 10 minutes or something. And for the old ones, that's kind of quaint. It's fun to look at because they look all silly. And then for the newer ones, it's kind of the American ones always go like over the top for destruction. That's what action type movies are. I mean, even superhero movies, you just see buildings getting destroyed. You see that in this, but it has the same problem that I have with other Godzilla movies, which apparently I've been watching different things than you guys because they all seem like just a random story and then Godzilla's there. And most of the random story part is boring. And the Shin Godzilla movie is neat because it just does a good job of showing you the boring part. Mm-hmm. Like the boring part is interesting. You don't even need to see Godzilla destroying anything in that movie to make that interesting. So for this movie, I'm like, yeah, there's a story that's totally separate. Like it could have been anything that the guy was fighting against. Could have been aliens. Is Godzilla an alien? I don't know. Maybe. But that part of the story was also fine. It's just a story about some guy, coming back from a war, and it's not that strong, but it also is fine. And so this one is like, it's fine. I have to say, though, this is the stupidest looking Godzilla I've ever seen.
You don't like Chonkyzilla?
He looks so dumb.
He's chonky.
He comes on screen and you're like, no creature would ever be built like this.
He's
What
thick,
is
dog.
with his legs?
Caked up.
Why? He looks ridiculous. So it's even hard to like
He had
take
an Instagram
him
filter on
seriously
him.
as being like cool. He doesn't look cool.
He got
looks
ass implants. Who cares?
ridiculous.
No, when those spikes come out of his
No,
tail and stuff.
those also don't make any sense.
How do you not like that?
They're way too big.
That's
he
a-
looks
Oh, come on,
ridiculous.
They
It's a monster.
snap out. It's like a toy where you push its belly and like its arms wiggle around.
No, it's cool. It is cool when he's powering up.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
snap out. But they don't just snap out. Like whenever you see him in the water, the first thing you see is like a forest of branches.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay,
like
I
his
see what you're
back
saying.
coming out. So that looks really silly and doesn't serve any purpose.
Damn right.
So, I think that character design is not the best version of Godzilla. Again, I like the blue lighting up part,
Right.
which is just a really strange thing to see in the context of like everything else being so old timey. And then all of a sudden there's like lasers.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat. But overall, I thought the story with the soldier guy was better than the Godzilla part. I do think that the end seemed very focus grouped and
Yeah.
tacked on. But I like that he takes in the lady and the kid. I like that they're kind of having a weird family, but he doesn't feel like he deserves it. I like that he feels guilty and then, is trying to do what he can to sort of fix that because he's tormented by it. And the little girl is super cute, and the neighbor lady comes around. It's a nice story. I liked that part. I probably would have thought this movie was fine without there being Godzilla in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dylan, you've been just playing with a Godzuki figure over there, real silent, just mashing it together with a Mothra.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
Thought it was fine. I don't know. I guess I don't care about Godzilla. I'm not the biggest fan or the biggest hater. I'm just a casual yeah, I've seen Godzilla. I don't care though. It's cool.
Yeah.
This is the most middling group of people reacting to this film you're going to see. I've never seen on Rotten Tomatoes a 98% critic, 98% audience.
This is 98?
98 critic and audience. It was on
What are we missing?
Thursday.
What are we missing that people rank
Well,
it that high?
I mean, you would put, I think we'd all put it at, if it's just positive or negative.
Positive, yeah.
So you'd have to be pretty hard in the paint to say negative.
Oh, that's how Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think everyone is saying it's 98%.
Yeah,
it's just
not 98
98% of the people that saw the movie liked it. But that's still impressive when you look at any other movie. It's very rarely that high and that on the nose. I don't know. I mean, the audience you understand, especially early on, because it's a self-selecting group and all that.
It's like
but critics. No one's taking umbrage with this film. This is doing very well. It's a very beloved film.
I think that critics like it because it does have that template where this can be commentary on a nation
Right.
and it's healing and blah blah blah. So there is bait for those people to sink their teeth into and try to sound smart. Talk about sociological aspects of it. But no, I mean, yeah. And then you're right. And then on the fan side, everybody that's seen it so far is pretty much a fan.
This is the guy that gets to be with a girl after she's been with a really shitty boyfriend.
Hell
and he's just I didn't yell at you today. And she's ecstatic. They didn't like that American movie so much. They hated it so much that they serve you a kind of undercooked flick. And it's just oh my God, it's back, baby. It's back. Our friend who likes Godzilla, who shall not be named on this podcast.
Yeah, well, I will not name him. I have a couple of friends, but him being one of them, being fuck, what exactly did he say? He was this is the only time he really felt for the humans, or one of them like that,
or
oh dang,
I forgot what it was, or wanted to watch it again, or
yeah. He was just very stoked, was very happy with everything about it. Same with my other friends that say that they love Godzilla. They're yo, this is the new masterpiece.
Yeah,
they're
top 3.
Yeah, they're saying top 3, top 5, a lot of that stuff, and I'm just here thinking yo, Godzilla 2017 America was badass, man. As Bryan Cranston and the guy that plays Quicksilver and
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron, that guy. Those are good. I like those. It's stupid.
All right, respect.
And
if you like him, you like him.
And there's no Kong tease in this.
Yeah, there's no Kong tease. Where's the Kong tease?
We're all looking for the Kong tease.
Anyway, so if you're listening to this now, obviously the new trailer for the new Godzilla movie's out. They already made a sequel for this one. And he meets King Kong, a legendary figure in the world.
Somebody's punching their listening device so hard.
Probably
right
my
now.
friend that we just mentioned.
Yeah, I feel bad not loving this movie when everyone else loves it. But
Yeah, but to tack on what Justine said, I feel like I cared more about the human aspect. than
I think it was designed that way. It was definitely designed that way. It's this is the first one in a while where Godzilla's a clear villain.
Yeah,
versus a tweener or a
yeah, I
gray
like
figure.
it when they're we gotta resurrect him to fight the worst monster.
See? Yeah.
That shit's cool, and then they get to fight.
Yeah.
Again, they knew that in the 60s. They knew, hey, we can't just have them attacking these people. They already know how to kill them. It's not going to work anymore. But I don't know.
Do they kill him?
Well,
he comes
do
back.
they?
This is there were 2 parts when I was whoa, and the first one is when his face regenerates.
Yeah.
I was
That was
wait,
so
what?
cool.
That
He
was
does
so
that?
cool. That looked practical. Am I crazy? They just, put a heat gun against him and then put it in reverse?
Reverse it. Yeah.
That's what it looked like to me. And the more practical the Godzilla's, the better, in my estimate. What was the other time, though?
When you see the blue lasers in his back. That's cool because it looks like nothing else on
I
the
started,
screen.
yeah, I started cheering like actively when that was. I was like, yes, yes, yes.
But I was wondering, I was like, is that Godzilla lore that he just regenerates?
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense. He's always alive.
I mean, it's evolved
Yeah.
over time. Like, it's gotten more intense over time, but I think it should because, I mean, like, if you're going to keep making dozens and dozens of movies, you got to, like, keep ramping it up as you go.
Isn't the Netflix cartoon? Isn't it like Godzilla has destroyed the whole world and is just roaming around the world?
Yeah.
Isn't that how it starts? And it's
Yeah.
like some like astronauts come down. They're just like, oh
So
god
cool.
damn it, he's still just wrecking
Yeah.
everything.
This is probably the most, like, Jason Voorhees installment of.
Yeah, he's just
of
coming to get
Godzilla.
you.
Yeah.
Literally coming out of a lake.
Yeah.
A lot of lake stuff. Is there
is it a
Godzilla-
lake or is it the ocean?
undetermined? Is there a
Hey,
lot of
Jason Takes Manhattan raises that question. Is it a lake or is it the ocean?
Is there a much underwater footage of Godzilla in previous films?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I always see him
Tons.
swimming around.
Yeah.
Well, you see him like coming out of the water.
No, I always like
you see him go under.
All right.
There's certain movies where I've seen before where he's like
Yeah.
underwater, just like swimming hella
Like an
fast.
alligator.
This one was more arty because it was doing like the half. You know,
Right.
it was like kind of like half air, half water in a lot of scenes. It was,
I want to watch those '80s ones. Are the
Yeah.
80s Godzilla movies pretty
There's
cool?
a really good.
Dude,
I
they're
feel
all
like
fun.
what's 85? What's that one called? It's just called Godzilla versus Japan.
no.
Dang, all of Japan.
I think there was a couple in '85.
all of them.
Yeah, it's hard to narrow down.
There's one I like a lot, but I don't remember what it's called because it's always just Godzilla.
Yeah, this is another
Yeah.
problem with these movies.
They just keep rebooting or
And
whatever.
it's like, yeah, which one? Godzilla. From
Well,
when?
Godzilla 85.
Because like when we get them, like they'll be like in like 36 packs.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? And then it would just be Americanization of the actual text that is on there. So just be like Godzilla box set. What's this one called? I don't know. This is called Godzilla, but you have 36 to watch.
oh, this is the ultimate collection. Yeah, and I don't need like continuing lore or anything.
Yeah.
I'm cool if they like James Bond it, but when they do a new James Bond movie, they're not explaining that he's a spy and
Right.
like starting you from he's a spy and he's
Yep.
doing cool stuff. So to me, seeing the how do we stop this guy? It's like, well, we the audience kind of know. So I think that was a challenge for me in this movie. Was that a good chunk of it was origin story stuff.
No, it's not origin. It's just how they're going to deal with him. And in each movie, they do that differently. That's kind of cool.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that like in some of the other ones, they come up with a reason to like bring Godzilla back or put Godzilla in space or have some crazy scenario where Godzilla already exists in the world. They just got to figure out how to deal with this new scenario that has arisen. That's where I think I'd like a modern Japanese Godzilla to be at. We know the bullets and the tanks and the jets aren't going to do nothing. So let's just
Resurrect
skip
them.
ahead.
Let's resurrect him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make him fight King Kong.
That's fucking
or have their sons fight.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm telling you, like I'm down for some zany shit. Like, yo, give him the telepathic link that makes him talk to the kid, and then the kid commands him
Oh,
to do
talking-
stuff like. That's,
Isn't that just Junior?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Right.
that's what I'm saying is that
He should have a
back
kid
then
right
they knew to get wacky with it because. All right, I'm done.
Hey, I have a
being-
question. Did you watch the 2000s Godzilla TV cartoon?
Oh, I watched it when it was out, but I have not rewatched it.
Was that one about?
So there's this lizard
Yeah.
that's like
Is Godzilla a lizard or is he like a dragon?
thunder lizard, and it's a dragon.
Well, I don't know.
Kind of. He's got some dragon-like qualities for sure.
Can
But
he fly at some point?
lizard. I have seen Godzilla fly.
See, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I would be curious to watch that cartoon because how do you do a weekly 30-minute Godzilla cartoon?
Matthew Broderick cartoon
Yeah,
of Godzilla.
a guy who does a Matthew Broderick type voice.
I remember being mad at it.
Of course. Yeah, I think like Godzilla fans are supposed to be mad at most Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
Did you like that movie though?
No.
Oh.
But I like the toys. There was some good toys.
Did you like the look of that one compared to this one?
No.
Was that
He's more of a dinosaur in that one though.
That's true.
was that still practical, that the Broderick Godzilla?
No,
No,
that was all
hell no.
CG, bro.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
have fucking. You're
It
gonna
was
tell me
awful.
a practical T-Rex Godzilla is there with Jimmy Page and P Diddy singing songs, hanging
That
out
was
on
a
top
fucking-
of a building?
That was a banger. That song still fucking
That video is fucking badass.
that still bothers a certain generation.
Yeah.
You're just talking over other songs.
Oh, I thought you meant like the video like
No.
scared people.
Yeah, that song was
Like
so
my
funny.
genre's like fucking scared
I
of
told
Godzilla.
Yeah, that song took some of the flack for the movie, actually. Because it's just like all these old people just be like, oh, that's sacrilege. How can you take that riff and talk over it?
you do that obscure
So
song.
wait, do you not like the 2015 one or whatever?
Any of the American ones I just haven't enjoyed, you know. Although I will say, like in the Matthew Broderick one, I do like when I think it's the Brooklyn Bridge that Godzilla's running across, and its body is just so big that's just snapping all of
The wires?
all the wires behind it. I did like that scene for sure.
Classic scene.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like I've told this anecdote before, but it lives in my mind rent free, so I must repeat it occasionally to expel the demons. But when I was working at Hollywood Video, we sold movie posters, and the tagline for that Godzilla movie, because that's the time I was working on, it says like size does matter.
Yeah.
And this drunken redneck couple came in, and they were losing their fucking mind at this poster because it's just his eye really big. It's size.
Yeah.
Oh my God, size does matter. We need to get this for Randy.
Shut up.
So all I know about this little vignette that I see in their life is that their friend may or may not have a tiny dick or is.
Or has a giant penis that they have both seen.
Yeah, it's either a huge dick or a little dick. There's a noteworthy aspect of this random drunk redneck couple in Escondido at the Hollywood Video on Mission and Grand that was converted from a T-Bird diner in 1996. And those guys that walked in that date lost their fucking mind
I wouldn't
at the
call it
size does matter tagline.
Yeah, you know how like, okay, so for those that aren't familiar with the concept, like back then you could write your name and phone number on the back of a movie poster or a cardboard cutout, and the video store could call you and be like, hey, we're going to give you come and get your poster. I would have just called an audible and been like, here, this is yours. Take this to Randy right now.
Well, so this was Hollywood, baby. So they were dialed in with the merch. This wasn't like mom and pop shit. They were selling the posters.
Oh.
The poster was on like a cardboard flat and shrunk wrap.
I thought you were talking about the promo.
No, I mean, they think there was the promo poster, but like
they were
in
selling
addition
it.
to the promotion, you could buy it because like there was just that many diehard fucking Godzilla fans at the time. They demanded more merch of the Matthew Broderick Godzilla, and they wanted that tagline, size does matter, for their friend Randy, who has a penis issue related to size.
What if he's just like Randy's just the fucking funniest person? And always has like those like ironic tees.
Right.
And it's always his tagline is, hey man, size matters.
I can see that's the route.
Yeah,
Like,
he just has like
funny
Randy
t-shirts.
Orton.
Yeah, it's funny t-shirts.
He had all those Star Wars Taco Bell tie-in toys. He's just into garbage. Like he's just into having junk and garbage. His penis is completely unremarkable.
Yeah.
I do remember, like all the the posters, the toys, the t-shirts, all the merch for that movie. It was just I remember seeing it on clearance for years.
Yeah.
And like they kept marking it down and down and down. And I loved it because I'd get like the toys and be like, this was 98 cents.
Yeah.
It originally started at like 22.
Godzilla minus one. Is this one? Are you good? Is this a minus one or a plus one?
Yeah.
Again, I'm Godzilla 0 because I don't think I liked it. I don't think I liked it, but I didn't dislike it enough to say don't go. And I appreciate that it hit the mark with fans of the movie, as far as I can tell. Me personally, there's just too much that didn't work for me. So if I'm being really honest, I think I didn't like it. But that's not to say that it's poorly made or insulting. Just made some choices that didn't vibe with me. So it's a respectful minus one, but a very respectful one.
I thought you said 0.
Well, yeah, but if you have to go one or the other.
Okay, gotcha.
So you're one of the two people.
I know, yeah,
Rotten
that's
Tomatoes.
There we go. But it's a respectful. It's not the worst.
And it doesn't count.
I know.
I give it a plus. Again, the story is fine. And then Godzilla, which is kind of a separate thing, is fine. I like every time they were in ships or on the water. That was all cool.
Yeah.
And when the guy is like pulling out the maps and kind of projecting where Godzilla's going to go, that's
It's always
cool.
just like a straight line.
Yeah. And I like the science guy.
Right.
And
Science guy was
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
And yeah, I thought the story was kind of thoughtful, and I'll give it a plus.
I'll go +1, and then I'm gonna go to the back and open the door and sneak in a bunch of underage, non-drinking minors into this, just so that they can get indoctrinated into the culture of Godzilla, and hopefully go see some of the trippier movies and some of the funner movies. I think there's enough in this that'll hook somebody. If they just on the creature, they'll be like, "Whoa, that creature's so cool," and then they'll go be able to explore some of the other wacky stuff that Toho has done over the years.
I'll go to +1. Go ahead, just watch it if you like Godzilla. If you don't, you should watch it. The human aspect is cool, I suppose. If you're into PTSD of like giant fucking lizards killing all your friends or something. Anyway, that's all I got on that.
But is that all we got?
No.
What else do we got then?
Yeah, we had a Dream Scenario, the new Nicolas Cage movie. A family man finds his life turned upside down when millions of strangers suddenly start seeing him in their dreams. However, when his nighttime appearances take a nightmarish turn, he's forced to navigate the consequences of his newfound stardom. Like I said, it features Nicolas Cage as Paul Matthews. His wife is Julianne Nicholson, that plays Janet Matthews, and directed by Christopher Borgil.
Did he do anything else?
He did a bunch of art films, like artsy films. He's like from another country, but I don't remember what it's from.
I've heard of that place.
Yeah.
I didn't think I liked this movie either. Why don't you guys? I feel bad just shitting on movies. Why don't
You didn't
guys-
like it?
No.
That's not what you told me earlier.
I think they had a half of it. I think they had an idea, like a concept, and then they didn't have a story
I'll give
to
this to
go
you.
with the concept.
The ending was just roll credits. There wasn't an ending. It was
Yeah,
just-
because there's no way
Yeah.
to end an idea of like, what if this happened? Or there is a way to do it. You just have to put in a lot of work and like have a coherent story.
What do you think they were going for?
I think they were going for, hey, this is a cool idea, and it would be fun to be able to shoot Nicolas Cage acting like a weirdo in a bunch of weird dreamlike scenarios, and then we'll figure out the rest later.
Yeah,
And I think
we'll
they
fix
did,
it in post.
They did all that stuff, and my man Nicolas Cage, fucking 10 out of 10 performance.
Oh, yeah.
Killed it. But I think you need more than a bunch of vignettes of Nicolas Cage being a weirdo in dreams to have like a lasting film. I do think that there is a lesson and a morality in the movie, which I liked a lot. I think that they are trying to say, or maybe have accidentally said, or maybe I have extrapolated from this film with no intent from the authors of the film, auteurs of the film. I think for a middle-aged man, things can change, and you can be in a new scenario, and you can do nothing, and that is the wrong move. And you can do something. You can do a something poorly, and that can also be a wrong move. So it's not a matter of inactivity versus activity in regard to a change that just kind of drops on your lap. It's a matter of making a correct action, making the right choice. And if you don't make the right choice, then you're in trouble. And making no choice is kind of just as bad, which is what Nicolas Cage does. And I think what they did a very good job of showing that the wrong choices he made once he starts killing people. First he shows up in the dreams and people are just like, huh, that's weird. And they think it's kind of cute and quaint, right? And then he starts killing them in their dreams and acting violently towards them in their dreams. And then he becomes like the worst guy in the world and no one likes him. And he does not seek counsel from those closest to him. He doesn't ask for advice from his family, and any advice that his family gives him, his close circle of friends and family give him, he kind of disregards or acts in what's going to be a way that'll benefit him, which is getting this book that doesn't even exist published. So it's kind of a morality tale about not listening to those close to you and kind of going rogue, as it were.
Which can happen in academia.
And can happen in a lot of things.
That's
in
true.
life.
Yeah, but like a lot of times, like I'm a tenured professor.
Yes.
Therefore, I'm smarter than you.
All that ego shit gets in the
Yeah.
way. And so it's a strong morality tale. It's not, doesn't end like, with him. I think if you were to really couch this, if this was like a horror movie or something, he would do something bad and then he would die. But I give the movie credit in that it's not as bombastic. It doesn't bang you like the scenario that he's in. It's not like your family's been kidnapped and you have to get them. That's the kind of thing that happens, or an inciting incident that's like a big movie kind of thing. It's like, why are you in everyone's dreams all of a sudden? I don't know. And they're like, yeah, we don't know either, but you are. So it's kind of a small thing that gets things going, and thus it ends kind of like him estranged from his family and kind of in a pretty crummy existence, but he's not, rotting in jail or in some pit or anything like that. So it's not,
because you can't arrest him for things that didn't happen.
Right. Yeah. So it's not that kind of morality tale, but there is still, like, I think a pretty valuable life lesson to take away. You know what it reminded me of a lot is the Daniel Clowes book, Wilson, which is about kind of a reprehensible character that isn't like, an evil person, but is just kind of a crummy human.
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah, I watched the old stuff. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, so there's like it had a feeling of that, or a touch of that.
Yeah, where it's just everywhere you go, you get shit on.
But he hates you. Yeah. Did it work for you comedically or no?
I mean, again, I love Nicolas Cage. I love seeing Nicolas Cage. If Nicolas Cage is on screen, I'm happy.
Okay.
And especially when he's not like really slumming it, because we all know what Nicolas Cage's paychecks look like. Yeah. This felt like something he was invested in. So like, sure. And Michael Cera's funny in it, and the whole everything about the business aspect and like how to monetize this weird phenomenon that's happening.
That was really funny.
That's funny. The Dreamfluencers, the like little TikTok house that's trying to incept products in people's heads. Oh, that's well and good. I have no.
Tim Meadows just saying words.
Tim Meadows existing, bro. Tim Meadows cannot not be funny.
I think that smells propane.
He's just sitting there, and I think he had a bit in Curb too, right? Didn't he have a cameo? And it was like, he's so fucking funny, just sitting there reacting to stuff. Like, man, not enough work for Tim Meadows.
Just purchased the Kawasaki,
and then you see it later in the garage. So fucking, he's great. So yeah, like this isn't like a garbage movie that sucks to get through.
Hell no.
It's just, I feel, not well realized, or not I keep saying undercooked, but it's like, again, you had this idea, you had this concept, but you just didn't flesh it out. Watch like, another fucking, this is like bingo for me. You just pick off all the cliches that I say. You watch Cronenberg's Existence. It's like, that's like a concept, but then it's like, well, let's keep going with this and let's dig into it. Let's show it how it is in the world. And let's put a period at the end of the sentence. And that's that. Maybe this isn't as going for like hard sci-fi in that sense, but
no. See, my read in the theater tonight was, this is a comedy, and everybody was just laughing, having a good time. But to your point, even in something like, let's say, Trading Places,
right?
It goes somewhere and it lands somewhere. This, I think they're like, hour and 40 runtime. You want to just roll credits here?
Sure.
Let's do it. Use that Star Wars color for the type. That'll be cool. But yeah, like, it didn't really. I appreciate what you said about the morality aspect, but it didn't take you on much of like a traditional comedic journey,
right?
But it still was very, very funny.
I think if this were like a graphic novel that was a 30-minute read, it would be great, because this is what works in that kind of. There's a lot of random ass graphic novels from French guys that you've never heard of that you'll pick up. They're like, here's a wacky thing, they're in a zany place, and it's over. And you're like, okay, yeah, that's that. But in a film, it's just, I don't know, you kind of need more structure. And this one felt a little wibbly wobbly for me.
I just realized what it reminds me of, and that is a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
It is, like, to me, a morality tale. This is a guy that is obsessed with getting his name put on papers and getting credit for all this stuff. And then it's like, be careful what you wish for, because then he becomes known by everybody. And he's like, yeah, this is great. But then he gets a taste of what it is like to be known by everybody, but for a negative thing.
Yeah.
And then it ruins his life. So, in the Twilight Zone movie, he gets that reversed and realizes his mistake and then gets to go back to his normal life. in like the nice version.
Right.
But then there's also the Twilight Zones where he's like, "What have I done?" And then it just ends, "What have I done?" And then it goes black. You know.
Yeah. Well, you need
That's a good way of describing the ending. Yeah.
I guess I just need that, or want that, or feel the need for that, like, him sitting on the library steps with the broken glasses.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I need that kind of closure. Closure maybe is the word I'm looking for.
For anyone under 28, it's like Black Mirror.
But even those are snappy and condensed, and I don't know. I can appreciate the artistic choice to be like, why is this happening? We don't know. What does this mean? Not important to what we're trying to do. Fair, but that is also something that someone that didn't work very hard on a script would say.
Okay,
why is this happening? Just cuz.
Earnest question for you: do you like any movies where you feel like they're just goofing off?
I mean, I hold Dicks up as like comedy of the year, and that is nothing but goofing off.
Okay,
and
good point. But way funnier.
Oh yeah, I mean, or a Jackass movie, sure.
Yeah.
All the Adam Sandler movies are pretty much just
goofing off,
dicking around. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. I think maybe this, you have to admit, has more of a serious tone to it, and is, again, just so conceptual. Like, if it's a bunch of guys working at a fast food restaurant trying to get laid, then yes, goof around. But if it's like, here is objectively a sci-fi concept, and this is going to be the backbone of the film, and we're really, like, that was another thing. I think it's the marketing. I swear fucking Google heard me say in my phone, boy, that new Nicolas Cage movie doesn't look very interesting. And they're like, put ads in front of everything he watches for this movie. I saw one with a Cranberries song because they say something about dream in the song.
Yeah.
And then I saw a Strokes the Last Night song used because last night you dreamt, you had a dream last night. And then the trailer, and then the credits for this movie, they have the Talking Head song of the City of Dreams. It's like, you can't just pick dream shit and call it a movie.
At least it involved the David Byrne
Sure,
suit.
yeah.
I can give them that.
Yeah, okay. But that's still, like, it took you a long way to get there. But I think it's got too much concept in it to be like, oh, they're just goofing around and having fun.
Yeah, I think if I watched it thinking, even for an iota of a second, oh, this is sci-fi material, then I wouldn't enjoy it as much. But but when I was just like, oh, I'm laughing early, everybody else was laughing, let's laugh, this is a comedy.
It's Nicolas Cage having a good time. What was that movie you forced me to watch at gunpoint with Nicolas Cage in it recently?
Mom and Dad.
Yeah, that.
What is that?
That is a fucking 10 out of 10 film is what that is.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll add it.
It's a fucking sick ass movie, dude.
Yeah, and actually that's kind of similar to this in that it's like, for no reason, all the parents just want to kill their own kids.
Yeah.
It's never explained, never extrapolated on.
And the ending even just was like, I want to, never mind.
Like this film, a thinly veiled excuse to just have Nicolas Cage act like a fucking maniac.
Is that a recent movie?
It's like 2018, 17, 16.
2017, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's, to me, that's the chef's kiss Nicolas Cage. This is fine and adequate and all, but I don't know. Maybe I just had that other one in my mind.
86 minutes. I'm in.
It's so good.
You had Godzilla in your mind?
No, the fucking the Mom and Dad.
Oh.
As that was the last Nicolas Cage movie I watched before this, and by my estimate, it trumps it. But that's me. What did you think of it, bro? Dylan, bro?
I liked it. Honestly, like that kind of ending for me, just thought it was cute. Yeah, it sucked because it's a bummer ending. But like, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. The whole time, I don't know about you guys, but as a movie concierge, I would have to say like, I get a bit of Tar, dude. I get a bit of the whale, only the part where he flies.
For sure, because he floats.
Yeah,
got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
It is an Ari Aster produced thing.
See, he floats in the whale. He floats in this one. Thus saying, is it all a dream, dude? Was the whale a dream?
What do you think about maybe some Dune because of the Baron that floats?
Yes. Godzilla floats.
Maybe.
Hope floats, actually.
Hope does float. The Wish star floats.
Yeah. These are all like
They're
facts.
connected. They're all connected. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, just there's a lot of string in this room right now.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But I like the film. It's not like I was looking for anything like deep. I guess I'm just
Same.
like, oh, I'm in. and we're all laughing. It was a weird fucking theater, but we were all like calm. I would say it's weird just because like there was one old lady by herself, and then like me and my friend, and then like 4 or 5 other couples just there, like around her, like surrounding her. Not like none of us were in front of her. We're all behind her, which is like kind of as a visual in my mind. That's really funny. But then we're all just watching the movie and laughing at parts that you should have laughed at. That's it. It was a fine time. People in pajamas.
Oh, on dressing on theme.
Yeah. Exactly.
So is this is it a dream scenario or a nightmare scenario? This film, I guess it's a dream scenario. Very light.
I mean, on a technicality, it is dream scenario.
I mean, I'm seeing my man on screen running wild. There is some laughs, but it's cheap. This is a cheap win. You guys got me on a technicality, just because I like to see my man freak out. But this is I'm putting this script on trial. Poorly written script, but overall a funny and enjoyable movie. But still tisking.
I don't know. This is like when you can't remember your dream, or you have a sleepless or just dreamless sleep.
It just fades and fades and
I
fades.
went through a period of time where like I would just dream about what I did during the day, and it sucked because I would just dream about work, and so I would feel like I worked, and then I would wake up and have to work. It's something like that. I did not like this very much. Yeah, the concept is kind of neat, but you would have to be like a creative writer to kind of flesh it out. And Nicolas Cage's performance is good. Tim Meadows is funny because he's on screen, but I didn't even think it was that funny, and it was kind of slow, and you're kind of just like, where is this going? It just, I mean, I can accept something like Godzilla exists. Nicolas Cage is in people's dreams. Okay. But then it's like, and now they're bad. Okay. You just needed that to happen so that you could have something happen in this movie. And then I don't buy, and it really irritated me that everyone is like, I'm so scared of him now. Or like, I'm so bothered by him now. And he's like, it's just a dream. It's just a bad dream. Yeah. So why is everyone overreacting? I really hated that scene with the high school kids or something.
The college kids tagging his
That
car.
might have been modern commentary because they even talk about Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan and all that, you know.
Well, I mean, when he comes into the gym and then everyone's like acting like they're scared of him.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. People are overreacting, and I'm not buying it.
Well, I mean, when I was watching that scene, they kept making Nightmare on Elm Street allusions. So I'm like, okay, that would be kind of like how somebody would react in that movie, but this isn't that movie. So it was kind of, I don't know, it was a little convoluted in that section for sure. You can also just say that you just don't like farts. You know what I mean?
That was really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just too many cracks showing in the film. And again, you can't tell me it's like, you know, what was the Jennifer Lawrence one, the where she sexes a kid.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put that movie on like a crucible as far as the sketch goes, or as far as the script goes. It's like, all right, you guys were goofing. You guys were making a raunchy sex comedy. This film is like, you wanted this to be artsy. Like, you have the air of seriousness to it. You can't just say, I was just kidding. Just a joke, bro. Just a prank, bro. When it, like,
Just a prank,
because you couldn't actually write something. I'm not letting you get off that easy. But that's why I'm kind of tisking it. But I don't know. You're going full nightmare? You're going work dream.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Ooh, work dream is
like
a
a
nightmare
nightmare.
for sure.
Jeez.
Ready for some good radio? Dream scenario. I liked when he was shaking his head when he'd introduce himself to people.
So good.
Yeah, the comedy I really liked. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I saw it with an oddly great crowd, which I think made my enthusiasm go way up for this. Versus if I had seen it in our normal setting. Let's leave it at that.
I would give this one I think I would give this one like a dream scenario. It's pretty good. I like Nick Cage. Thought his wife was fine in the movie. Not Modi or anything, but she was cool.
It's been a while since we talked about. I haven't heard about any Modis.
I know. I kind of forgot.
Yeah. Okay.
I think about it during the film, and then I forget as soon as I have to talk about it. But no, I mean, it was fine. I liked it. It was good. Sure.
Did you wear your sleepy hat?
My hat?
Yeah.
No, I had a hat that said "fuck" on it.
You smuggle in some sleepy time tea?
No, I smuggled in rice pudding from something else from another place.
Oh, that still counts. So what other movies are we watching, Dylan?
We also had a Silent Night, the new John Woo movie in the last couple of 7 years or something. On Christmas Eve, a man witnesses the death of his young son when the boy gets caught in crossfire between warring gangs. Recovering from a wound that cost him his voice, he soon embarks on a bloody and grueling quest to punish those responsible, mostly just Mexican gang members.
Exclusively.
Yeah. Starring Joel Kinnaman as Godlock is his last name, which I thought was his kid's first name. Catalina Moreno as his wife. Kid Cudi as Vessel. I could not figure out the main bad guy's name because there was no pictures.
I think he's Seiya and his girlfriend is Playa. I think.
No, Playa is the guy that he beats up in his garage.
Oh, my bad.
So that's why I was like,
who's Seiya? I don't know. I tried to find him too because I wanted to show this horrible tattoo to a friend of mine, and this movie is so under the radar and underground and independent that I couldn't find this terrible tattoo.
What tattoo did he have?
With like scribbles.
The literal.
Face?
Yeah, no, on the side of his face.
Oh, you just don't get that stuff. Anyway, it's directed by the legendary John Woo. He did Face Off, The Killer, the 88 one, Mission Impossible 2, and Hard Target that also has Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Justine, take these motherfuckers to church.
What was the movie that? Oh, okay. So we watched another movie today that was really bad. But this movie, it was the worst movie I've seen this year.
No way.
It is so bad.
I haven't seen it.
It
but
is so offensively bad.
Talk to me about what makes this one worse than a lot of the crap we've seen.
When the movie begins and spends 100 minutes on a man running
100 minutes
in slow motion with a Christmas sweater and a jingle bell around his neck
toward the camera, and the credits are going, and you're like, this is really boring. Why did they do this? And it's told out of sequence, also
It's flashbacks.
Yeah, there's flashbacks, and he gets shot in the neck. Don't worry, he's fine. He's shot point blank with a huge gun, and then they just take him to the hospital and sew it up. But the only thing is, he loses his voice because he got shot through the throat.
Hence the name of the film.
Silent Night.
No.
And so you get the gimmick. After 5 minutes, you're like, and then after 10 minutes, you're like, no. And then after 15 minutes, you're like, okay, you just need to kind of settle in your discomfort of how stupid this is.
Right.
That there's no dialogue in this movie.
Not just the guy that doesn't speak.
Yeah, for no good reason.
His wife doesn't speak. The gangsters don't speak. You'll hear an announcer on the radio or a CB thing. The detective who is in charge, Kid Cudi, of the murder doesn't speak.
But yeah, the first words that you hear, you're like, oh, it's this. Whereas it's inflation is out of control and crime and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, where does this guy live? Because he has a nice house, but then they're driving and it's there's drugs in the streets and stuff. And so you learn that his kid was killed by a stray bullet from some people shooting machine guns in the street on Christmas, I guess.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's a gang fight, but it's in the suburbs, and it's just two cars weaving around the road and just firing full Uzis at each other.
Shooting each other and hitting nothing except one bullet hitting this child on a tricycle in his front yard.
Why is the kid on a tricycle amidst gunfire?
Well, they were playing in the kid got the tricycle
for Christmas,
and they're playing in the front yard.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're not expecting a fucking gunfight to just pull up. So they're like, oh shit.
Yes. So then it is An hour into the movie, I looked because I was looking at my watch a lot because this was torture.
Wow.
An hour into the movie, he starts doing something. He spends 20 minutes walking around his house looking at like the kids' toys or something. It's just
going into his room.
Yeah, he's just, man, he really misses this kid, I guess. I wish this movie would move along though. He's just being sad. And then his wife is like, you should be better.
Then she is texting him this while they're in the room together because they don't want to say a word.
Yeah.
So you just see, bloop, I miss him too. Bloop.
On screen?
He's pretty sad. And you just see him pick up the phone, see that, put it down.
Yeah, so even the things that
She's in the room with him.
Are things that didn't need to be said. She texts him, I'm late for work. Have you seen my keys? And he picks up his phone and then he does something and puts it back down. You see, bloop, no.
So it doesn't, like, there is a way, silent film exists. You can like express emotion.
Yeah.
But they fuck up their own logic by texting each other, but it's not even used economically.
No.
It happens like 2 or 3 times, like not as part of a leitmotif or anything.
Yeah.
It's just, and they use it for "Have you seen my keys?" No.
Which doesn't drive anything forward.
No.
She
then you hear her leave like right after
Shut
she texted that. So it's like
So she found the keys.
Found the keys like right away.
Oh my God.
And there's another text that's like, I'm worried about you. Your parents are worried about you. And then he just ignores it. And then the other texts you see are from like between gang people. It's like, kill this guy. Hey, what's his name? Ruiz, kill this guy. Ruiz, is Ruiz because he has a tattoo of the name Ruiz above his eyebrow. As I'm remembering this movie, it's more and more dumb.
Oh my God.
The first thing you see after the hour is up. Oh, and then he has the weakest training montage I have ever seen. He's like, he can't do a pull-up, and then he does some push-ups, and then he's able to do a pull-up, and he can do like an overhead press with a kettlebell, and it makes him look all like, oh wow, but it's 10 kilos. So then he's watching these alt-right videos on how to stab people.
Yeah, like knife fighting videos on YouTube, like literally watching them on his phone. And then he has one of those dummies, and those dummies always look funny in any context.
Yeah.
And he's just like stabbing it with this knife that he got. And like, it should be noted at some point, like you just see him like in an alcoholic stupor while he's grieving. And then he just stops and he just like wakes up. He's like, and you see him go to the calendar and he flips the pages. It's like Easter or something.
It's Easter.
And so he flips the calendar to December and he circles December 24th, the day that this inciting incident happened where his kid got killed. And he just writes, kill them all, and circles it, which, in all fairness, kind of hard. But now we know that the training montage is on to get to the point where he can kill them all.
And if you look at like the marginalia on the calendar, it's like bulletproof vest? ?
No.
It's just a bunch of dumb stuff. It is really, really, it is so stupid.
Yeah, so the whole thing is he's training to kill all the gang members that may or may not have been involved in the killing of his kid.
He's just any gang members, but for sure, not even the one that, okay, maybe he did take part in killing the kid, but he's really fixated on this one guy, the guy that shot him in the throat.
Yeah,
that's the guy that he's super after.
Fair enough.
So he's not even like, who killed my son? I'm gonna kill that guy. He's just like, this guy shot me in the throat.
But he is like the big gang guy.
Yeah.
He is like the king of the gang.
He is the main gang guy.
Which he learns because he goes into Kid Cudi's office during office hours. Like he makes an appointment or whatever with the business card that he got from the detective. And he just goes into his office like he's waiting to have a conversation with Kid Cudi, who never shows up. But he just takes pictures of the most wanted sign
Yeah, in Cuddy's office, he has, like all those wanted posters. And so the guy is in there and he takes pictures with his phone.
And then he leaves. That's all he needs. He'll take it from here.
And then he somehow does this huge, makes like a dossier on all these people, gives it on a thumb drive to Kid Cudi and is like, I'm going to do what you should have did. Like 5 or like a year ago or something like that.
Okay, but then in all fairness, the action happens and...
It's trash.
Hold on, this is John Woo of Face Off fame. You're saying that this is not good action?
I was like, I thought this. I was like, isn't John Woo? He's like a name, right?
Yeah, because it's all a setup to go on like a kill crazy rampage at the end of just this white guy murdering these Mexicans, like so many Mexicans.
I mean, John Hinckley's a name.
Well, this is let me touch on that. This is like the most racist movie I've seen in a really long time. There's no other white people. It is just him, and he's only killing brown people.
Oh God!
All of the criminals, everyone you see and the wanted posters in the police place, any of the criminals you see walking around, they're all brown people.
Oh man!
And it's just him.
Effortlessly, murdering this guy.
After being able to do a pull-up.
A guy from 0 to 6 months.
Yeah,
one white man.
Oh, it's totally possible. Yeah, white rage.
And there's a part where when he's like in the training at a gun range and he's trying to shoot and he doesn't even hit the paper. And then they show him the next time, and he's just right in the middle. Yeah, I mean, all the bullets going
fix it in a couple
same
months.
Hole.
Come on.
So apparently, that's how we're supposed to accept that he shoots one bullet, one guy every time. Has amazing aim. He drives really well. Let me tell you this too.
Shit.
He gets a car. He doesn't have a car for some reason. And then he buys a car. He buys it off of some guy under a bridge. And then he's learning how to do donuts in a parking lot.
There's a lot of doing donut. It's not a small part of his training.
No.
Because he's gonna need to do a donut later.
There's more doing donuts and Tokyo drifting in an empty parking lot than there is him learning combat.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But bro, he tricks this shit out. He puts suicide doors on him. If you had a T-bird with suicide doors, you could take on an insane gang.
Yeah, he shoots people from inside of his car
a
lot. And the license plate, I believe, says "Get Some." But he goes to the drug guy's lair. He's not a drug guy. He's a gangster of some sort.
Oh, his lair. What's he playing in his lair? What music is he listening to in the privacy of his own home?
It's not a privacy. It was hell loud. You can hear it from outside.
Well, he lived in a warehouse.
Yeah. He's listening to San Diego's own, the legendary Prayers, really loudly.
Multiple songs.
Yeah.
One song ends, the next song starts.
And Prayers even said, "Hey, watch this movie. We're in the soundtrack."
We are the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's almost fucking Cholo rock bands playing.
While this fool is machine gunning up the fucking main villain's lair, just going level by level and shooting all these guys, the main fool, king of the fools, is just drugging up his girlfriend and blasting prayers in his master suite in the warehouse and chilling.
And that guy loves Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, they're dancing around a Christmas tree.
And he has these gigantic ornaments.
Right.
Yeah.
Just hanging from his, like I said, he's in a warehouse or factory or something. And so the ceilings are super tall and he has these giant balls just hanging from there. And I'm like, who did he get to come in and decorate this place?
Just wait. Those balls will come into play later. We'll get to it.
See, I am always amazed though at how people that you don't ever see do anything all year go all out for Christmas. You're like, you did that the day after Thanksgiving? That's crazy.
Well, this guy's one of them.
Yeah.
This drug lord with the face tattoo. He just has like if you fell asleep at a party and someone had markers and just drew on your face
Just like lines.
like just aggressive Jackson Pollock style slashes at the side of his head for no reason.
That's his tattoos. And he has that, and then he has like 2 tattoos on his arm. He's not even like he's so tatted he has a face tattoo. No, he has all the space in the world. He chose the Sharpie scribble on the side of his face.
Have you exercised your demons? Because I think it's time for Dylan to give us a counterpoint.
Transition. I like to root for Kid Cudi after House Party, especially. How was he in this movie?
Oh, I mean, like, he doesn't really do anything.
He shows up like mid massacre when the guy is, again, this is a police officer of the law in Texas, and the guy, the white has destroyed his way up the thing. He's on his last leg though. He's down. He's hurt.
He's been shot a couple times.
The guys are coming at him, and there comes Kid Cudi. Again, there's no dialogue, so there's no like, "Hey, get down from there." He just looks at him and he just nods, like, "Let's do this." And then they go forth to fight the final boss.
It's like if like you're playing a game, and then someone pressed start on the second controller. That's really how it starts.
Yeah.
Then that kid sucks because he's like 4 years old.
Yeah.
And he's not good at games.
But at the same time, it's like
That's perfect.
it's Golden Axe, like just be a dwarf, pop in, and like you'll get some guys. At the very least, you'll have like people drawn to you. So you, the sorceress, the Chad selection, and Golden Axe can keep going.
Yeah. Right. But he's not. I mean, he doesn't do anything crazy. Yeah, Kid Cudi does not do much.
Yeah, because that was the only thing that was. I was like, because every bone in my body was like, don't go see this. But then I saw Kid Cudi's name. I was like, maybe see this.
I would say the only people acting is like the main guy's just doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then the main leader he just looks menacing. Mm-hmm. And then the lady has to cry. His kid doesn't really do much either in terms of acting. He's just kind of like, I feel like they told the kid, like, you're not going to die. You're going to be good in this movie. Believe me. Like, he doesn't know he's dying in the film. Because he's just, like, happy, and he looks like he doesn't care. I think it must be, like, John Woo's, like, great-grandkid or something.
All right, you've teed this up too much. I gotta bring it up.
What?
The last scene of the film, as it ends, surprisingly enough, they shoot the bad guy. The biggest Mexican dies. But it is with white man's dying breath. And Kid Cudi's too, for some reason.
Yeah, Kid Cudi just walks up, right? No, he shoots.
He shoots the girl.
Which is the funniest scene, because, oh, God. Go ahead. You want to explain it? You got it.
I'm just going to cut to the ending, and you guys can come back and pepper it in. So he falls on the ground next to the dead Mexican. He looks up at the aforementioned ornament-style glass balls, and he sees in the reflection, in his last vision, his child smiling and laughing in the ball. And if you thought that the memed picture from Thor Ragnarok of the little ghost kid floating was bad, well, wait till you see this dead child in the ornament, and you're like, okay, last glimmer of his kid. No. It now has given him vision into an alternate reality where like he sees the kid like progress in his life and like graduate high school and like keep on going in his life.
Can't. No.
It's fucking nuts.
It's
like
awesome.
He sees the whole kid's life in the ball before he dies. And he does die. Sorry, everyone, to ruin this movie for you.
Godlock dies.
Yeah, they don't do like a Taxi Driver thing. He just dies, and the last thing he sees is his kid dead. And then, Sorry. My favorite scene is when, so the lady leaves the guy because he's training too hard. You see, I would say a proverbial bag of luggage that she picks up and goes away, but it's a literal bag of luggage because that's what you do with, what do you call it? When you're divorcing. Yeah. Or leaving your guy.
Moving out.
She moves out, and then it's like montage. And before he goes out, he doesn't like talk to her, text her, call her, anything like that. He drives by where she lives just to like kind of like get a glimpse of her, like the hero seeing this maiden before his voyage that he might not come back from. He sees her, and she is in the widest, openest window you could ever imagine. So he has a great view of her, and she's in some big old like bloomers. Yeah, and she is she's drawing a picture in charcoal of their dead kid. So it's just a random time of day. This mom is just drawing a picture of
In
her
view of
in
the
a
bay
Yeah.
window.
huge window, divorced, drawing a picture of her dead kid. That was my favorite scene. But the last scene, you just see her at the grave, and she got a letter from the guy saying that he had to kill everyone. And there's just a train set going around the kid's grave.
No.
Well, because he built it on Christmas morning or whatever.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the kid's gift,
Oh my
or one of them, I guess. Because
I think he bought
tricycle.
it. He bought it before because that's when he went to the store and he hugged that random kid that he thought in his mind was his kid.
Oh, God,
And then his kid's mom picked up the kid. He's like, "What the
Like,
fuck?"
ew.
There's so much fucking nightmare vision in this film
That
that
scene
you will
is so
forget
fucking
it.
funny. Because I was like, "What's happening? That's not his kid, right?"
No.
And then obviously it's not his kid. It's like a girl. And then like the mom picks her up and just doesn't say anything. Just runs away.
Yeah, I was
Run-
going to ask what he said, but then I realized
No,
there was
he can't
no
talk,
dialogue.
which the-
I was
the
like, did he
lady
go
doesn't-
whoop? But no.
No.
Yeah, so a mother seeing a random stranger like crying, hugging his kid wouldn't be like, "Hey, you get off of my kid." She just go,
She just
Grab
stole
the
her,
kid.
like stole it, and then like a football just carried her like inside
like
the
a
store.
football.
listen. There's
And then
only
the bad guys were there handing out money to children.
Yeah, everyone hangs out outside the hardware store.
Jesus.
It's fucking cool.
Dylan. There's you know that we are shitting on this movie and being really mean to it, but there's only one film concierge we have in the audience, and that's you.
Yeah.
You're the only choice. You are our white savior. You are the one man.
The one white savior.
Metaphorically speaking.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So please, give us some light on this. We've been so mean.
Have we been mean, or have we just been telling what the movie is about?
Hey, how long was this movie?
Hour 40.
It sounded like 10 hours.
So as long as the dream scenario.
yeah.
I feel like it was I thought it was $1.50, but I could be. That's what. Besides the point. Too long.
Yeah.
Nah, because after dream scenario, I heard the theater. Like I heard the ending of Silent Night. And I had to go back and watch it. I only heard it because you can hear Prayer's voice. And I was like, all right, I'm going to walk out. I'm
How
inside.
fucking stupid it is to sit in a movie theater. You're like, I am the dark guy, and I am a spooky man. I am the spookiest man around. And just try to take seriously this criminal guy. Do. I am the spooky man. Do. So
No,
bad.
I was so happy.
Yeah.
Like once I realized what was happening, 'cause it takes your brain to realize what's happening, you know? Because it's like, okay, he's listening to music, sure. And then you hear the one voice, and it takes you a minute because you don't like want to believe what you're listening is what you're listening
Because
to.
nobody has put prayers in anything before.
Well, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
That's what I'm
That's what I'm
saying. Like
saying.
you
Yeah.
hear the voice, and it's so like, oh, that's not him. There's no fucking way.
So you go from like not being in any media prior other than the actual CD or digital file to just every song in a movie being prayers.
Well, there's not that many songs. It all happens like every song's like at the end. There's a fucking like annoying little trinket song that he plays throughout
Oh, yeah. He carries the
Oh.
music box from his kid around.
no.
And anytime he
God
needs
damn.
inspiration or he's about to die, he just winds it up. Bum, bum, bung, 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 bung.
Yeah, it's not that fast.
And then he's
but
like, never mind. I'm ready to go and
I'm
kill
gonna kill
some
these
more
kids. I'm
people.
gonna kill these guys.
Are there any good movies predicated on dead kids? I mean, like
Oh,
Revenge?
Face Off. That's another one. They're all a lot of John Woo movies are about dead kids and
There
like
you
people
go.
getting revenge for that.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch John Woo movies.
Anyway, what was I? What?
You said at the end of the film that they mixed two of your favorite
Oh
things.
yeah, I did mix both of my favorite things, which is one, a really good GTA like level, which is just going up the stairs and just killing all these people to get to the main guy, and then the Punisher, which is just a guy killing people, just drug like gang members. And then combine that, granted, you know, it's just like you get a weirdo white guy just like doing all of it. Not the Punisher. It's not Frank Castle. He has the same like motivations as Frank Castle, but just like it's just a random guy.
Yeah.
It's not even like he's like was in the military and he's trained. He
He has
obviously,
no
like we
skills
said,
to be doing
he
this.
did train himself through self-defense videos on YouTube. Dude, you know what I was hoping for? He was watching that Boss Rutan training vid.
Bong, bong, bong.
Bang, bong, bong. I
Old
don't
one.
like
Yeah.
you. And then you knock him out. You could put the hot sauce in his, where somewhere he can't find his butthole. Anyway, yeah, I mean, like, I mainly only like the ending. Like, I would say I would like the last 30 minutes. I don't like the first 5 where he's like running around trying to find the cars of gang members to try and kill because he throws that lead pipe to the car.
Yeah, he is just running on foot after.
Well, he's trying to
these
find the
guys.
cars that killed his kid.
Yeah.
And at that point, he's like, fuck it. If this is the guy that shot me, I'm just going to blame it on him. Because there's no way to tell which guy killed who, especially if you ducked and tried to hide the kid and that kid just gets killed.
So the kill crazy rampage aspect worked for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really care. You can skip the entire Kid Cudi aspect out of it.
You skip
sure.
a lot.
That's such a
I would
bummer.
go as far as to say
Well, no,
skip
you
the
can
whole
have
movie.
Kid Cudi there, but you don't need me to. You don't just fuck it. He's just there.
Dang,
He's a detective.
what a waste of great talent.
Everything.
Nah, I liked it though. 'Cause it's like, again, like I said, player 2 starts, and then like nothing has, like a 3-year-old with a controller just trying to fucking figure it out with you. I
like
also
the
like the
last
scene
level.
where the girl shooting out all at them. She managed to hit them both, and then like he's gonna shoot her, and she's like, "But my gun's out of bullets." So he puts his gun down, and then he still shoots him,
Oh my god.
and then he shoots her twice in the head. Like, yes. I like the fight with Ruiz. That was a good fight scene at the pool hall. Yeah, I just liked like going up the stairs. Again, it's like a GTA level where you have to go up the winding stairs to the top where the bad guy is and just kill a bunch of guys in the middle of it.
I did have like the Reddit voice in my head where I was like, is this a heckin' one shot?
I think the one where he does fall down this, like they kick him down the stairs. I think that's one shot, but that's only like 20 seconds.
Well, it's a long ass shot, but it's also like very obviously like cut, you know.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I liked it still. I don't know. I guess it's like, I don't care. Have them shoot some people. You don't have to show me everything. Don't show me the woman having a divorce with him. I don't need that. That's it. Anyways.
Calling it worst movie of the year is heavy because we've watched about 200.
Yeah,
in
I'm
theaters.
kind of I'm not
I
going
already
that far
told
with
you,
it.
Asteroid City has the alien.
The alien.
Asteroid City, I don't have in
And,
like my bottom 10.
That's crazy.
Maybe
because
not
it
my
was-
bottom 5.
It got like a D when we
Oh yeah,
rated
no,
it.
it's a bad movie, but there's some brutality out there. There is a dumb action in this that does, as an abstract, elevate it above, like, I don't know. You like the Jesus baseball movie more?
Did you like the Jesus sci-fi movie? I guess
Well,
we'll
we're
get to
gonna
that.
find
It's
out.
that the Jesus baseball movie was really stupid, but it was kind of like Hallmarky. So you just kind of sit and you watching it happen. This is like this is torture. Like
I'm not trying to say this is a good movie. I'm just like, worst is it's still a good person for me. You can't beat that.
again, I'm
for
gonna
me.
say Good Person is really really bad. It is an F tier movie,
Yes.
but it has a narrative and it has some fine acting in it. This has nothing of that.
This has zero Zach Braff involvement,
I know.
and that's my counterpoint.
This has
Did you
zero
like-
words in it.
Did you like the Elaine movie though?
I disliked that, but there was like a few sensible chuckles in it.
Yeah, because that's
And-
only David Cross being there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
just like
it was all David Cross.
I don't know. At least they were attempting to make a kind of movie that I like. It wasn't. No, I respect this. I respect the decision. It's just a left field.
I was surprised myself.
Yes.
But sitting in the theater, I was like, this is awful. I wanted something better to happen and it didn't. I thought it was going to be like a Punisher movie.
Right?
And that's what you want it to be. It's like, oh, his kid died. He's going to go on a rampage. Nope, you're going to sit for an hour watching him be sad.
Zero momentum.
And then 30 minutes of something happening. But the first 10 are when he kidnaps that guy and makes him a worksheet that says, what crimes did you do?
Where do you get the drugs? What drugs are you doing? Like he literally has a printout, like
printed
8.5
it
by 11
No.
Word document for the guy to write down all these things on, so he can give it to Kid Cudi, so that Kid Cudi can arrest everyone. But then he's gonna kill everyone anyway. So
Yeah, but it still helps him out. Tells him where the drugs are going or where they're coming from.
Silent Night. Is this movie a gift under the Christmas tree, or are we quiet for this one? Yeah, I will say I'm quiet for this. This is a bad movie. This is a very bad movie. I don't think I have as much vehement disdain for it as other people who've seen it, but it's oh man, god damn it, is this funny bad? It's kind of so bad you can goof on it. Sorry.
You can after the fact. While you're watching it is torture. I would say the part that you're going to want to watch is when he's killing the main guy, because he does choke him. Like Dylan mentioned, he chokes him to kill him. But he's like on top of him and he's going to choke him. And then he sees out of like the corner of his eye one of the balls, and it is the kid's face.
Smiling.
Smiling.
Happy that this movie.
Murder that Mexican dad.
All right, and then he gets the strength to squeeze.
Well, we don't know if that kid could have. What's the wife?
I think she's something. I think she's
I think she's Latina. But,
Yeah, see,
still.
Which goes to the earlier point. It's just the one white guy.
Yeah, this movie is awful.
Dylan?
Nah, man, this movie was it was a gift under the tree. John Woo did it again. His first film in 6 years. His new film in 6 years. That's all I got to say. It's good. John Woo, again, putting dead kids up in the front of the story and just making a guy get sad about it and pissed off. You think John Woo had a dead kid?
It sounds like it, right?
You know,
He just keeps making the movie.
I started this with Justine, and she immediately was just like, don't turn this into like a conceptual thing. Like, don't make excuses for this movie. But I do I like when artists
Yes.
are psychotic and insane, and they show you their worldview. And it's like, this is a very interesting way to see the world. It's just like besieged by gang violence and murdered children.
Economy, bad, drugs. Oh yeah, the part where, so the guy is like shooting drugs into his girlfriend's arm when they're up at the top of the stairs. Listening to prayers. And it is one of the funniest things because he pulls out a syringe. And it looks like the kind you shoot into like an IV.
Right.
It's huge.
It looks like the kind that a naughty nurse would buy at Party City.
It also said Acme on it.
Gigantic. Right into her vein.
I was like, that's not heroin. The fuck is he injecting her with? Yeah, the fucking tube, the syringe, the tube's like about like 2 inches in diameter.
Oh my god.
What is he doing to her? Drugs. But then I just found out that John Woo was like 80 years old.
Right.
So of course he thinks all this stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that old.
Brain rot.
Becomes that guy.
Dylan,
What?
let's keep this short and sweet. We got one more to go.
Well, only you two saw this one. You two meaning you, Colin, and you, Justine.
And possibly the band U2. Bono.
You think you two saw this?
They take a lot of flights. Could be in a plane.
Currently doing the residency at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Though.
Okay, so they got a lot of downtime.
Go on down. Good point.
Yeah, we have a bunch of movie vouchers. You guys can go and watch a movie in our theater.
We could probably get you into this.
The first couple lines of the description in Regal is it's a movie like Interstellar. So
And,
they're like, all right, I'll stop reading there and then we'll go watch
Inception.
this.
Did you want me to explain it?
Sure.
Okay, well, here we go. I didn't see this. I only watched the trailer. I did tell Colin I did see it, the trailer, and that's how I found out this was an Angel production. What I got from, after a tense encounter with a mysterious stranger who has otherworldly powers, a man gets banished to a parallel Earth where he fights to get back to the woman he loves. It stars another Christopher Polaha as Kevin Garner, Neil McDonough.
I don't know.
McDonough as the benefactor. Is that what they call him?
Yeah.
Like a lot. They say that a lot.
Many names.
The benefactor has left our world after the Kevin who refused said a prayer and banished him from our world. And the Kevin who refused is now a wanted man.
It also has Elizabeth Tabish as Molly, and directed by Brock Heasley, who did another movie, but no one watched it. Right?
He wrote and directed it.
Oh, he wrote this?
Yes.
Oh, sheesh.
So listen,
a lot of work.
Two things that people love is faith-based films and multiverse stories. So finally, we get the two things we like together.
You think the Christians weren't watching, like, what's it called? Everywhere All at Once. So they're like, finally.
We could do this. Or, again, just ripped from the pages of Rick and Morty, the machine that lets you see into the other, like, universe that feature yourself. And this one, they call them, oh, God, there's so much fucking sweet jargon. They go into the Vika view, the vicarious viewer, and watch their doppelgangers from other dimensions.
And when they go to a different dimension, they shift.
Yes, hence the shift.
The title.
And God, there's like some device they use to shift.
Yeah, they use like a bracelet that they can shift themselves and other people around to different dimensions. We can't remember what it's called though.
And basically, the benefactor gets this guy, and he's like, it's a Job story, because Satan and God are like, Job only likes you because you hook him up. And God's like, well, I'll fuck with him then. And I'll stop protecting him. And then I bet you he still loves me. And then Satan fucks with him a bunch. And Job's like, God still rocks. And Satan's like, fuck you. And this movie is that, but with multiverses and 1984, like police forces and a lot of like really dirty workwear. The benefactor is like, I'll shift you to like the good place where you'll be awesome and all your shit will rule. And then the Kevin who refused says, no, I love God. And he prays at him, and the benefactor disappears, and then he won't go to one of those multiverses, so he has to suffer in his and try to get back the natty way.
It is so random. Like, why this guy? Why is the devil obsessed with him? Why does his different why do his different selves in the different dimensions or universes or whatever know who he is? Like, every version of him in existence is aware that there are other ones of him in existence.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess because the benefactor is like, hey, let me give you a shifting power. And he's like, all right. So he took the deal from the benefactor to shift.
Oh, the other ones. No.
Was the sci-fi aspect of like a bait and switch and they just go right into the...
Yeah. So the... Dylan, can you bring up the description of this film
on
the Regal app?
The Regal app.
Yeah.
Just like the first few lines that you might see above the fold.
The shift?
Above the
shift.
Fold. You're right. There is a fold in the app. You are absolutely right. That is
you have to click like see more to like read the rest of it. And not that the rest of it really indicts the film, but...
Well, the rest of it tipped me off, actually.
Well, yeah, if you get deep into it, if you read 4 paragraphs of the description of the movie you're about to see. Yeah. But most people read the first 2 and are like, okay, it's one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Oh, I've learned the lesson.
Inspired by films like Inception and Interstellar, The Shift is a sci-fi story that uses expansive world building, alternate realities, and transportation to explore themes of temptation, hope, and perseverance.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
It is so bad. It is it's kind of like you just threw some buzzwords into a movie and you're like, see, multiverse. He says the word multiverse in this movie. And like the world building, quote unquote.
Yeah, there's like 12 people you see.
Yeah, you don't know why
Godzilla's just wandering around.
Why any of this is happening. Why is the place he goes to all crappy?
Cause man and their greed has waged war, and the world was on the brink of collapse until the benefactor came and made the world leaders, gave them what they want, and then he took over. And things were crappy still.
Yeah, I don't know why they were like, oh, the benefactor. Wait, what does he do here?
But then, so the benefactor takes our lead and corners him. He's like, I'll give you this deal. You do this thing. You become a shifter. I send you to a dimension. You cause chaos there and do my bidding. And Kevin's like, fuck you. Gets down on his fucking knees and prays so fucking hard that the benefactor disappears. And like this guy, the benefactor isn't some backyard guy. He's like a public figure. His posters are everywhere. And Kevin, they have CCTV footage of the Kevin who refused praying and the devil guy disappearing. Obviously, the Bible is outlawed in this land. Obviously, the Kevin who refused, they call him that so much. It is so funny to me. He is typing on a typewriter memories of what he remembers the Bible kind of being like, and then like distributing them through this underground network. So he's spreading the gospel in this dimension where the Bible has been outlawed.
I just remembered at some point he has neighbors. It's like a family. There's 2 little girls and then a mom and a dad. And the dad kind of works with him at I don't know what. They like break bricks or something. And so he gets invited over to their house and they feed him. And then I can't remember how they like know, but they lock the door and they're like, okay. And he's all, what? Who are you? Are you shifters? What's going on? And they're like, that's what you think? That we're shifters? No, we have something to show you. Come on, girls. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it. And he's like, like crying.
Because they have learned of his underground gospel.
Because it's outlawed to sing this song or any remotely religious song, I guess. And so they're singing really poorly this song, and he's like all excited about it. But that song comes up.
Yeah, it's a leitmotif.
Yeah.
Go back to that word. All right. Well, you're not going to drag this out. This is an unhinged, fucking psychotic film. I'm really, again, going back to like worldviews, it's a real interesting disposition to have, like a genuine, honest to God in your heart. You wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, God is testing me. Like everything I see, because that's the conceit of this film, is that like it's all a fucking test. Because the benefactor is going to put him through all this bullshit and he's still going to believe in God, and then he wins in the end. But like, that's really fucking weird, just objectively, like as a human being to walk through life and be like, I'm being tested right now by God. Me personally. That's just that's weird. And so I don't know. Again, I like how fucking weird these goddamn movies are. I'm not trying to just be a weird irony guy. Like, it's not good. Don't watch the movie. I'm not suggesting you watch it. But as someone who has watched a lot of these, I don't know how to describe it. They're just fucking strange. It's like an insight into a worldview that I'm not usually exposed to. I don't know why they choose film. Like, real churchy people love making movies, and it's like the most vile, corrupt, debaucherous industry that exists. Probably worse than music, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Why would you want to engage in that and have your film run in a theater next to fucking Nicolas Cage murdering people?
I guess this is kind of what they do, though. They take over holidays and turn them, know, into other things. I think that's how they get you.
It's just I understand, like, just wanting to be a regular normal person, and I'm not an anti-religious person, quite the contrary, frankly, but it's just like, of all the ways you could express your faith, let's do shitty sci-fi movies. It's just fucking weird. You wouldn't think, like, if that's all the information like, here's the tenets of our belief system. Here's how we think you should live, the repercussions for it, the scriptures. Now, how do you think you should praise God? Are you going to, do a mission and like help kids? Are you going to build things? Are you going to give to the homeless? Like, how are you going to do it? I'm going to like get like $1 million or $2 bucks together, and I'm going to film some shit that I wrote on a laptop.
You think ChatGPT wrote this?
I mean, some chunks of dialogue, sure. I mean, just like, what is a word for someone who shifts through dimension? Transmodulator, shorter, a backsliding defibrillator, one word, slider, shifter. Boom. There we go. We're calling it shifter for sure. Like some of the jargon stuff, but like, yeah, it's just, again, you would never guess that this is how this group would choose to spread their gospel, but they're doing it. And I'm a voyeur in life. I'm a little creep. I sit in the corner and I watch the world go by. I don't engage in things. I don't talk to people. I just like to get data and collect it. And like these movies, they let me collect data. And it's a fun way to get insight into their world. So this is for sure zany and shitty enough to like, bust on. You could MST 3K the shit out of this one and have yourself a gay old time, which you can't say for every bad movie that comes out. So I'll give it its due there. But yeah, this is just a screwball flick. I'm not even going to say good or bad. It's just screwy as hell, dog.
Yes, it is. And the weirdest thing, I think, well, I don't want to say the weirdest thing, but a very strange thing about this movie, it is probably the most Jesus-forward Jesus movie we have seen. Even though we've seen, I want to play baseball.
Yeah, but that is about Christians wanting to play. That is about baseball players who happen to be very faith-based.
Yes.
And then the one, what was his only son?
Yeah, that was that
was just from the Bible, which weirdly, actual stories from the Bible don't feel as Jesus-y as the principal outlawed prayer at my school movie. I don't know why those feel more Jesus-y than actual Bible stories.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anybody in the audience at this one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you always see at these.
And there's the countdown at the end of the movie. Hey, some guy's going to start talking to you soon. And then he comes up and like, thanks for coming out to see my movie at the theater. The best way to see movies. We're going to put a QR code, scan that shit, give a ticket to someone else. Like these angel guys, man, they know what they're doing.
What a racket.
Love it.
Oh, I just wanted to mention that a weird thing about it too is a big part of what his motivation is, which is, what is he trying to do? Get back to his own reality?
Yeah.
Where he had a terrible relationship with his wife.
I'll do you one better. He's trying to get back to his reality and find his wife, except that the benefactor explicitly said that he shifted years prior his wife out. So the wife that he has known the past 2 years is a shifted wife. So he's trying to find his original wife, goes there, has a weird encounter with her, and is like, you know what? I'll let it go. God himself, because God at some point, the guy who runs the Vica View theater, on which the guy can see his wife and is the main standoff is there. The guy has been looking for his cat, the theater owner, and then once the main guy starts praying again, boom, the cat shows up. So God delivers a cat to the guy who has the lost cat, and then like the benefactor brings up a gun and is about to shoot the fucking guy because he's like, whatever, you passed all my tests, I'm just going to shoot you now. And at that critical moment, God, presumably, puts him in a different reality altogether where his wife is a single mother as a nurse, just completely unrelated.
New lady.
They're just starting from scratch on this woman.
So it isn't even what he wanted.
Or what he was trying to get the whole time.
No, and his motivation the whole time is to go back to his wife that got taken away from him.
Yeah, or just go back to his regular world, and he doesn't get that in the end.
No.
And what the Deus Ex Machina, that's like when God comes down and fixes things. This is the only movie I've seen with an absolute to the T Deus Ex Machina ending. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Dylan, what are we watching next?
Unlimited.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited. This week we got The Boy and the Heron, the latest work from the legendary Studio Ghibli director Miyazaki, and I cannot wait to see it. Then we got The Oath. It just looks like a badass version of 300 because it has the legendary Billy Zane from The Phantom in it, and I cannot wait to see it. Then we got Eileen, based off the book of the same name, and if you read it like I did, well, let me tell you, we're in for a treat, and I cannot wait to see it. Okay, everybody, we'll see you at the movies. Bye!